there is nothing about the red shirts. I listen to them every day. I monitor their broadcasts. I'm doing a media study of that. And they insult foreigners. They insult gays. They engage in ridiculous ad hominem attacks. They are playing to the crowd. It's kind of like a cross between with Thaksin, and they sing songs in dedication to Thaksin. I mean, it's sort of like Mussolini or something like that. Some people compare Thaksin to Berlusconi. I think it's a little more like Mussolini. It is fascism, and it is a shame because these people are hijacking the poor people, hijacking the genuine grievances of the poor to serve a billionaire in exile so he can get back to Thailand and get his money back.
Well, I don't think that Philip Cunningham really understands the definition of fascism. It's easy to bandy it about. Fascists don't demand democracy. Fascists don't have differences of opinion. Yes, there are elements of the red shirts who are rough and ready, and some of them are anti-gay, and some of them talk in terms of being anti-foreign, but the majority don't do that. The majority actually try to give differences of opinion, and this is not an armed group. The fascists are the middle-class People's Alliance for Democracy, the yellow shirts. They are the people who want an end to democratic rights for the poor and so on. And I think that's just a really outrageous slander on the red shirts.
Well, Jai, you're so naive. I just can't believe it.
Why are you saying that?
Well, I think Jai knows very well that if he listens to the speeches, I mean, Jai could listen to speeches as well as I do. It's nonsense. There is good rhetoric. There is good drama. This is money from a TV station, from Thaksin's media people. They put together a media show. They put together a sham demonstration, a sham revolution. It's not the real thing. I was at Tiananmen in '89. I know what these things look like. I know what a spontaneous uprising looks like. This is not a spontaneous uprising. What has happened, and I will acknowledge this, is that you've kind of had a chain reaction. You have some real spontaneous uprising now. Thailand is in a very brittle state. It's very delicate. It's at the kind of end of an era, and anything can happen, and this could be extremely dangerous. I just don't want to see Thailand go down a fascist road, and the red shirts have proven to be armed. They're shooting at soldiers with slingshots, Molotov cocktails. There are people with guns, pistols. It is not a peaceful movement. The students in Tiananmen Square never did that. There was no violence. There's no comparison to this. This is a bankrupt, tycoon-backed red shirt movement. I just can't understand why Jai supports it.
Jai.
Well, you can't understand, I know, because you're not prepared to accept what's going on. I follow the reports on the internet. I'm watching the TV there. I've been on red shirt demonstrations in Bangkok. I have friends who are in the red shirt movement. And the fact is that Philip's analysis that, it's all being run by Thaksin and the movement's being hijacked is an insult to the millions of Thais who are genuine red shirts. It's the same old story from the academics who believe that ordinary Thai people can't think for themselves.
Jai, I cannot accept that. That is a very unfair slight. Just because someone disagrees with you doesn't mean they don't understand.
How about letting me finish, Philip? How about letting me finish?
Go ahead.
It's the same kind of attitude that the middle class in Thailand have towards the red shirts, and it's their justification for why they don't believe in democracy and why they supported a coup d'etat, because they said, the red shirts have all been bought by Thaksin and they're being manipulated by him.
Would you acknowledge that some of them have been bought and a lot of them are not, but would you acknowledge that some of them have been bought?
That question, Jai, of whether some of them have been bought off.
No, they haven't actually. You don't need to buy people off because the government, Thaksin's government, horrendous though it was in terms of human rights abuses, actually brought in a universal healthcare system. It's actually better than the healthcare system in the United States in terms of what the poor get. They had pro-poor policies to create jobs. And they don't need to hand people money if the government actually offers and then delivers on that. People actually vote for what they want, and it's actually very, very insulting to the Thai population to claim that they've been hoodwinked and bought by Thaksin. Now, The issue is really how come a tycoon like Thaksin can win the hearts and minds of the poor? And the answer is that this shows that there was a vacuum on the left in Thailand, ever since the Communist Party collapsed. And
Jai, this is the weakness of your analysis. I know you've been on the left for a long time. We went to the the stonecutter that was making
Let
the
Philip
monument
Cunningham make a
6th.
statement. You go ahead, Philip Cunningham.
Okay. And, this idea that I just feel like you're so hungry for the left to do something that you're seeing a false dawn and you're mistaking it for the real thing. This is a false dawn. This is not the real thing.
You're speaking over me. You're not listening to what I say. You've got some dream in your head about what I believe in, and you're starting to argue with a straw man. I'm saying that Thaksin was able to exploit the divisions within Thai society between the rich and the poor because the left didn't exist. And that's how come a tycoon like Thaksin can win the hearts and minds of the poor.
I wanted to end with some videotape. The Thai military has been firing live ammunition at the anti-government protesters. Over the weekend, CNN aired footage of Thai soldiers shooting at Canadian journalist Nelson Rand, who was working for France 24 news channel.
Nearby, a Canadian reporter is also hurt and about to be shot again.
One journalist gets shot.
Nelson Rand lies bleeding, screaming for help next to Bangkok's Lumpini Park. He's been shot in the leg and struggles to take cover. Finally, he's dragged to safety, but the bullets keep coming. He's now in hospital.
That is a live report from the streets of Bangkok as this reporter, Nelson Rand, a Canadian journalist with France 24, was being repeatedly shot by the soldiers. We just have 30 seconds. I'll give each of you 15. We'll begin with Jai Ungpakorn.
Well, I think the way to end the present crisis is that the government should order an immediate ceasefire and that there should be proper, genuine democratic elections.
Philip Cunningham.
Okay, I think the Army should leave also. I think it's absolutely horrendous what the Army's doing. I'm totally against that. But I cannot say that the red shirts are democratic or in the right. They are also a problem, and I think it's a police problem. They have to be arrested and taken care of.
Philip Cunningham, freelance journalist. He's in Ithaca, New York. Jai Ungpakorn, Thai dissident living in exile in Britain. This is Democracy Now! We'll be back in a minute.